Hey, welcome back. We're on step 3, the selling process. If you made it this far, you're a salesperson. Take your career pretty seriously. You want to learn a little hints, something that might help you be more successful. Um, if you haven't, go back to step 2 to discover and rapport building because that's the most important. Selling is not the most important. I mean, obviously, it's a big part of the process, but step 2, you want to basically you want to make sure that you and your customer are on the same page. She trusts you, he trusts you, and they're willing to help you through the process. Because if you mess up on that, you shouldn't even go to this. So you want to stay, make sure you have good rapport with the customer, discover the things they want. That way you can sell them the right product. So on to step 3, we're gonna determine the right product. We're gonna use what we learn to put customers in the right direction. Either or, open-ended question, yes questions, things like that. We're gonna use those questions that we've practiced to get them in the right product. That's the main thing. Because if you try to sell something they don't want, you can't close it. Can't close it. And if you do, you're gonna have an unhappy customer. We don't want that. We want happy customers. People who are gonna bring people to us. People that are gonna write great reviews. That's who you want. So that's what we're gonna use to make sure we're getting the right product. Demo. We're gonna sell the sizzle. Okay. When you go into a steak joint, everybody uses that analogy. When you come in, you sit down, the server comes by with the steak, it smells great, you can hear it popping. That's what gets you excited about your meal. You're like, I'm at the right place. So you want to sell the sizzle. So you want to have excitement, number one. Because your customer, their level is going to match your level. So you want to be excited to see them. You want to have a positive attitude. And so your customer is going to match that. If you're in a crappy mood that day, life's crapping on you, someone repoed your car, you're getting evicted, whatever worst case scenario you could think of, and you're in a crappy mood and you're at work, your customer is going to go down and match that attitude. You might not think so, but that's where they're going to go. The customer's not there to prop you up. Okay, so you need to have a good attitude. So that's incredibly important. Product knowledge, you want to be a little bit prepared. You're the expert. They came to talk to you about that product. So if you don't know anything about it, you just can't sell sizzle. Eventually the steak's got to come out. So you got to know a little bit about that steak. So you want to have a little bit of product knowledge. You want to have enough. That way you can be an expert or close enough to. And if you don't know, don't lie. Be like, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I'm sort of new, but if you give me a second, I'll be happy to get that answer for you. That's a great answer because no one's going to be mad and everybody's been new. Everybody who has in life has started new somewhere. So they're going to understand. And I'm like, okay, cool. Write it down, memorize it, whatever, get that answer for them. And if they want to, like, look, I'll go get it right now. Most of the time they'll say, no, just get that for me. And you can go with the process. But you want to let that customer know, look, I'm still learning. So if you give me a couple minutes, I'll find out for you. But don't lie to them. Because if you lie to them, all that work you've done in the past, it's gone. Once you lie to somebody, you don't want to trust them anymore. And this is a huge process. So you want to make sure that if you don't know, you tell them you don't, and you'll find out for them, and you're happy to do so. And we're going to learn together. So that's what you want to do. When it comes to the product, you want to demo it the best you can. You want to make sure that oh, great. There we go. We're back in focus now. You want to demo that product. If it happens to be cars, which I'm a big lover of, you want to open the doors, open the hatch, open the hood. Even though people don't even know what's under the hood anymore, they still want to see it, okay? Because that's what they're supposed to do. They think that, oh, let me see the engine, let me hear it run, okay? So you want to open everything. You want to get it out, show it off, okay? Even if it doesn't have a ton of options, you want to make it feel like to the customer that it does. You want to be excited about it. Okay, get them in, get them out. Hey, sit in the back seat. See how much leg room's in this. Oh my gosh, my kids are gonna love it. Okay, they're stuffed in my little Geo Metro now. This is gonna be so much better for them. That's what you want to do. So get the doors open. Okay, you want to whatever it be, whether it just be a brochure. Open up the pages, go through it with them. Get a couple. Do whatever you can to sell that product. Okay. Just basically let them know what they're purchasing. Because then once you educate them on the product, that you show what the product has to offer them, you can go in and close. So you can use everything from the prior steps to help close the steps as long as you give them good product knowledge. Don't throw up on them. Okay, everybody at A store has the one person that knows the ins and outs of everything. You know, the variable valve timing, this. No one cares, okay? No one cares. It's good for you to know that in case somebody does, but no one does. So just don't throw up on them. Give them what they want. Give them little tidbits. That's incredibly important. Yes questions. We talked about this a little bit earlier. I was a little early on it, but yes questions. Once you give them some product knowledge, you're going to go and you're going to demo the product, especially in car sales. You're like, hey, everything looks good. You know what? If you have your driver's license or proof of insurance, we can go ahead and take it out for a spin. Great. Okay. So you're going to get them in. You're going to be going down the road. I like right-hand turns myself. It makes things quick, easy, less likely to get into an accident. Get a little. If your store hasn't told you now, make sure that you get yourself, a little, something you've memorized, so you can go on the same trip. And right-hand turns. Right-hand turns make everything really easy. It like I said, less likely to get into an accident. It's streamlined, and right-handed turns tend to go quicker. So even though the customer might not realize it, you're making things quick and easy for yourself and them, which is always good. But while you're demoing, you want to use questions. You know, like, oh my gosh, aren't you surprised by the horsepower out of that 4-cylinder? Yeah. Doesn't that shift really nice? Yes. Man, this really looks like it's going to be great for your kids. Yes. Things like that. You're going to want, you want to, they're reaffirming their own decision. Because a lot of yeses equal a sale at the end. Now, you don't have to make it feel unnatural. You don't need 100 yes questions to seal up a sale, but yes questions are gonna help you, because that customer, they know they're saying yes, and they're reaffirming their own purchase decision. So you want to do that. Those are incredibly important. But you don't want this to be unnatural. In the sales process, everybody wants to go fast. And that's good. You want to be efficient. You don't want your customer to be there for 6 hours, because it's not good for anybody. The longer your customer's there, the harder it is on them. You know, they prefer to be doing other things. Yeah, they want that car, they want that product, they want that cell phone, they want that, whatever it may be, but they don't want to be there all the time, and they'd probably rather be somewhere else. So you don't want it to be too long, but slow down. You want to give it time, that way that sales process can mature and you can sell it naturally. If you try to make it quick, you're going to come across as pushy. And you don't want to do that, because that customer's like, oh my gosh, the salesperson's been so great. Why are they all of a sudden pushy? It's terrible, and people don't like it. So you're going to want to just slow down. Let the sales process take care of itself. Then when you're going into close, okay, you want the customer to pull up the vehicle. If it is cars, you want to have them pull it up to the front of the lot. Don't have them park it back where it's at. You don't. And if they do go to that, that's not a great sign. That means you haven't done your job, because they don't want it. But you're like, yep, go ahead and park up front here for me. And they're going to go ahead and park up front. And then you're going to basically get out. They're probably going to get out, stand 4 or 5 feet away from the car, look back at it. You're going to walk around the other side, and you're like, oh my gosh, it drove great. It has everything I think you need for it. And then you're going to want to usually probably hit them with an either or question. It's super corny. Would you, how about this? If you want to go inside, we'll get you something hot or cold to drink, and we'll wrap up the paperwork. That's a good one. If that's a little bit robot for you, come up with your own. And then when you ask that question, you want to walk, okay? Because that customer is going to follow you. It's really uncomfortable for someone to be like, all right, and start walking, for the other person to not follow. They're going to come in, they're going to follow you. They're not going to sit out there. So they're just going to follow you. So like I said, you want to give them normally an either or questions. Would you like something hot or cold to drink while we wrap up the paperwork? Oh, coffee's fine. And they're going to follow you. Okay. Then at that point, you can sell the car, because you've done your job. You have greeted them. They like you. You've built rapport. So you've decided what car they're gonna need, whatever product they're gonna need. And they trust you. You've taken away any objections, because objections aren't bad. Objections are just sales questions. That's all it is. So if your customer has any objections through the whole process, don't fret. I know when people get objections, they can make them nervous, but they're just buying questions. They're basically just doing that because they want to buy. If they have objections, that's part of that process too. Basically, what you have to do is overcome them. And I'll have some videos about overcoming objections, but that's part of the sales process also. It's a natural thing. Don't be concerned. But once you've done this part and you have brought them back, you've demoed, you've either or questioned them, use that to get them in the lot or in the office, then you can actually do the selling / closing. So we're going to talk about that here in a couple minutes.